Who wants dinner? Dinner can be fun, fast, cheap, and tasty. It's dinner for 4 in around 30 minutes for around 30 bucks. I picked delicious, easy recipes that you can do at home. Guaranteed. Today is a great day because it's all about fish and chips with a twist. I'm talking crunchy coated fish, crispy spiced polenta fries with garlic dip, a fresh green pea salad, and something really special. I'm calling it the broken pavlova dessert, all in around 30 minutes for around $30. Time starts now. All right, fish and chips. When I think fish and chips, I think of classic potato chips, but I want to have a little fun in the kitchen, so I thought I would make polenta fries. This is a polenta cannon. It's cheap, but there's some ways to make it into fries that explode, and you're gonna love it. Polenta fries are one of those things that you see at a restaurant, and you think to yourself, oh, let's go back to that place because they have polenta fries. But I'm gonna show you a really easy way to make delicious polenta fries at home. So get it into a square so you can get your fry shape. That's really easy. And polenta is made from cornmeal, and they cook it with a little bit of water, some simple seasonings, they put it into a tube, and it's ready to go. So this is an exciting way to make polenta fries that your whole family's gonna love, I promise. So cut them into the fry shape. You wanna take your time here and get really nice cuts because you want that classic fry shape. So once I slice it, like stack it up like a little deck of cards, and then you can slice through it again and you get these fry shapes. So the thing about polenta is it's plain in flavor, but there's some ways to get it really exciting because it's just a lot of dry spices and some of my favorite dry spices. Get the fries, break them up and get them into the bowl. Look at that. They're like perfect little fries. Delicious. You want to season it. You need a good amount of salt and pepper. And salt's gonna bring out all the flavor in the dry spices. The dry spices, here we go, let's do this. A little bit of onion and garlic powder. I wouldn't add fresh onion or fresh garlic. There's something really energetic about the dry onion and garlic, and it's perfect for like a little dry rub on the polenta fries. Don't be shy. Honestly, you guys, this has to be my favorite spice in the whole entire world. It's smoked paprika, and it's made from dehydrated peppers. Sometimes they're spicy, sometimes they're sweet. This one is smoky, it's delicious, and it's great on a polenta fry. And you want a bit of spice, you want it balanced. So you got some onion and some garlic and some salt and some pepper and some smokiness, and to kind of finish the whole thing off, a little bit of cayenne. It's spicy, so just a touch. And I'm shallow frying these a little bit. It's a nice nonstick pan, big surface area, and a lot of canola oil. I wouldn't use regular olive oil. Canola oil gets nice and hot and will give you crispy fries. All right, this is great. Be gentle when you lay them in. You take your time, just place them nicely, turn them, get them really nice and crispy. Just a couple bubbles at a time and develop a really nice crust. Yeah, give them a little shake too. Get your hands in there. Oh, it smells so good. The smoked paprika hits the oil and the aroma is so delicious. Not your everyday fry. Okay, that's great. Get them in the pan and be patient. Just move them a little bit, let them get really nice and crispy, and then you can turn them. The most crispiest thing you've ever had in your life. Okay, so there's 2 chips in my fish and chips. One is the polenta fries, and then I'm gonna make a potato chip crust for the top of the fish. You can use flavored chips if you want, but just good old-fashioned salted potato chips work. And I just wanna beat them up a little bit because you want it kind of like the texture of a breadcrumb. Yes! That is perfect. Check this out. They're great. That's gonna add such a good crunch to the fish. Look at that. It's like the tastiest breadcrumb you've ever had. All right, things are looking really good. The polenta fries are getting really nice and crispy. The potato chip crust is already done for the fish, but up next, I'm amping up the flavor. Things are looking really good. It's fish and chip night for around $30 in around 30 minutes. I have the potato chip crumble ready for the fish. The polenta fries are nice and crispy. And while you're gone, I just chopped up my 2 favorite herbs for fish, fragrant dill and parsley. All right, so I wanna put something on the fish so the chips stick to it. So I'm gonna build this amped up herby mayo. Really simple, super fun, super delicious. You want lots of mayo. Mayo's got some good fat in it. It's really good when you cook it, especially on fish. Good amount of mayo. And then the parsley and the dill are just gonna liven up the mayo. The mayo's got good flavor, but you add some fresh herbs to it, and it's a winner. So lots of dill, lots of parsley, and then you wanna season it. You want the herbs to become alive. You brighten its day up. A little bit of salt and a couple twists of pepper. You want to give it a little bit of kick. You want some acid in there. You want to give it a little bit of attitude. And I just find like fish, mayo, herbs, and lime are perfect. Just a little bit of juice, not a lot, just enough to season it up and give it a little bit of acid. Okay, so that's pretty good, but there's nothing like a little melted butter. Just a little bit, just a couple of drops. And it adds a little bit of nuttiness. It gets really nice and silky, and the flavor of butter and fish and mayo and herbs are just delicious. Woo! It's great. All right, let's talk fish for a bit. This is one of my favorite fish because it's cheap, you can find it anywhere, and it takes on a lot of flavor. It's cod. And I can tell it's really nice and fresh. You just smell it, and it smells like the spray of the sea. First, you need to season the fish. A little bit of salt, a couple twists of pepper just highlights the fish a little bit. Makes it taste nice. And then just slather both sides with the mayo. I have a really funny story about cod. So my dad has this good friend who like chauffeurs actors when they're in town, and he became really good friends with an actor who plays Superman on a television show. And my dad's an avid fisherman. So he's like, calls my dad, he's like, can you take Superman fishing? My dad's like, sure. So they go fishing, and then I get a call from my dad like 2 hours into their fishing trip, and this is how the call goes. Spencer, Ron, I'm with Superman and we're fishing, and we caught 2 cod. Can you come and make fish and chips for Superman? And then I was like, of course I can, father. So I go to my parents' cabin, and then there's my mom sitting at the counter having some coffee with Superman. And there's 2 big cod there. So I clean the cod, I make these really nice fish and chips, and then we just sat on the deck, me, Superman, and my mom and dad, and ate fish and chips, because that's normal on a Wednesday. When the fish is slathered with the mayo, dip it in the chip crust on both sides because it gets really nice and crispy. Check that out. Cod is such a great fish. It's mild, it's flaky, it's a little bit buttery, but you add some herby mayo and a chip crust, it changes it. It's a new guy. It's a superhero now. And I get a nice non-stick tray. Put a little bit of oil on it. The chips on the bottom get nice crust, and then the top gets really nice crust too. Super simple, just lay it down. This is great. I've done this with flavored chips before. This works with a lot of different types of fish, but you're making a meal in around 30 minutes for around $30. Cod's the best bang for your buck. Press it, flip it, chip it, dip it, love it. Yeah, and the oil is really important on the bottom of the pan because the pan heats up, the oil gets nice and hot, and then the chips on the backside will become really nice and crispy. You want the oven nice and hot. You want to get the chips really crusty, so 450 degrees Fahrenheit, get it in. check these polenta fries out. They're getting really nice and crispy, and the spices are toasting, but you want the whole polenta fry to be crisp. So once you flip them and you have a top crust, put them in the oven. Keep it at 450 and the bottom will get really nice and crispy. All right. Okay, come here for a sec. Just 1 second. Fish and chips are usually served with mushy peas, but I've got a really cool salad that uses fresh peas that'll blow your hair back. It's so fresh. Hey guys, guess what? It's fish and chip night, all in around 30 minutes for around $30. This is what's happening right now. The polenta fries are in, getting real nice and crispy. The fish is in, and while you were gone, I just got started on a little salad. Fresh peas, watercress, a little bit of apple, and peas are in season, and I love them because they're fresh, they're crunchy, and they're super tasty. And the watercress, really nice and peppery, and it plays off the peas, but I wanna make a really cool dressing for this. And it's super simple. That watercress is so good. Mason jar, just because I love it, makes it easy to shake. And the base of this is sour cream. The watercress is kind of woody, and the apples in there are really crunchy, so I like making a creamy dressing that kind of coats the leaves and highlights it. So a little bit of sour cream, and then some onion. I used a little bit of scallions or green onions. It's just kind of a lighter onion. It's got a good crunch, good flavor. Anytime I make a vinaigrette or a dressing, it needs some acid. Because the sour cream's a little tart, I'm gonna use just regular straight up white wine vinegar. Don't be shy. Good salt and pepper. Hey, you wanna season it up. And then a little bit of olive oil, sour cream, olive oil, white vinegar. The onions make for a really great creamy dressing, and it goes so good with the sweetness of the apples, crunchiness of the peas, and the pepperiness of the watercress. And just to sweeten it up a little bit, because it's pretty flavorful, but when I make dressings or vinaigrettes, it's all about balance. So just a little tiny splash of white sugar. Give it a shake. And the thing about this salad is the lettuce is really strong. Dress it a little early and it just seasons it really well, and it won't wilt on you because the lettuce is like really nice and strong and vibrant. You gotta season the greens. It's a great little tip. Season your lettuce. It just makes it taste so much nicer. Give it a toss. This is great. The polenta fries smell good. The fish is cooking away. The chips on the crust are getting really nice and crunchy. But fries are great for one reason, because for me, it's a vessel for a dip. And this dip is super cool. It's like a garlicky mayo. It's only a couple of ingredients, but you get a crispy fry with smoked paprika on it, and then you dip it into a garlicky mayo. Just delicious. So lots of mayo. Don't be shy on the mayo. Perfect. And I use about like 2 cloves of garlic. You want it really nice and garlicky. There's just something about like a garlic mayo that's really nice and seasoned. You dip it with crispy fries. It's delicious, your best friend. And I make these mayos all the time. Like making an aioli in a blender takes a while, but there's some ways to just take regular store-bought mayonnaise and you can make it really, really exciting. And it almost tastes, well, it does taste like you made it from scratch. I use a microplane with my garlic. I wouldn't rough chop it and put it in a mayo because it gets super chunky and but I find if you just put it through a microplane, it just demolishes the garlic, and it's a good way to get good garlic flavor throughout the mayo. Yeah, don't be shy. So to finish it up, just a little bit of lime juice. Lime is really nice because it cuts through the fattiness of the mayo like a bulldozer. A couple of sprinkles of salt and a twist of pepper. And just to finish it, to help it be a little bit more silky, just a little bit of olive oil, just a touch. It adds a good flavor and it makes it really nice and creamy. That is one super fast, cheap, delicious mayo for fries. Woo! All right, I have a really cool dessert for you, and it's called a pavlova, and it's basically meringue, whipped cream, and fresh fruit. But this is a store-bought meringue nest, and with a little bit of work, it makes for a really exciting dessert. You're gonna love it. It's a good day in the kitchen because it's fish and chip night. All in around 30 minutes for around $30, and things smell delicious. The polenta fries are really nice and crispy. The garlic dip's ready to go. The potato crusted cod is rolling away, and I even finished a salad. While you're gone, I just whipped some cream for this dessert, and these meringue nests are really cool. They're just made from egg whites and a little bit of sugar, and they add great texture to whipped cream. Just bash them up. How cool is that? Normally, I season whipped cream with powdered sugar, vanilla. You wanna get it nice and tasty, but these meringue nests are so sweet, you don't wanna season the cream. It'll just be way too sweet. You won't even be able to handle it, it'll be so sweet. And because it's so sweet, desserts are all about balance. And I find just a little bit of acid in there, like just a squeeze of lime, kind of cuts through that sweetness a bit, and it makes for a really tasty dessert. The whipped cream has a lot of air in it, so I just fold it over nice and gently, and it keeps the whipped cream nice and fluffy like a cloud. And this is kind of like a deconstructed pavlova. And pavlovas are simple. They're whipped cream, meringue, and then berries. You can use whatever berry you want. This is where you can be kind of fun. Really tart berries work really well, like blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, even kiwis. You can mix it up, and you just build it like a parfait, like a little bit of blueberries, a little bit of the meringue and cream. And don't push it down. You want it to be nice and fluffy like a cloud, so just put a little bit in, and then just like line the berries on it. And this is a dessert you make for somebody that you love because it's delicious, it's simple, and it's really fun to eat. So good. Berry City. Because it's nice and sweet, I finish it with just a little bit of lime zest. It's just so nice and fragrant and sharp and really complements the blueberries and kind of balances the whole thing out. Oh, it smells so good. This dessert is exactly why my brother doesn't let me babysit his kids, because this is something I'd give to them about 10 minutes before he picked them up. Love you, buddy. That dessert, perfect, beautiful, fun, fresh, delicious. Salad, no fuss, no muss, just get it onto a nice plate. See, the greens are so nice and kind of woody, and by dressing it just a little bit before, it just stays so nice and fresh, and the dressing gets right in there. That is delicious. All right, for the fish and fries, I get a little bit fancy with my fries. I have a little fry cup and a piece of paper like this. You can use newspaper if you like. Just stuff it in. It makes it fun to eat. Cool. Oh, yeah. Oh. It smells so great in here. Look at the crust on that fish. Potato, nice and crispy, soft cooked fish. So good. Yeah, and I like doing it on both sides because if you can see under it, it gets really nice and crispy. That's why I like putting chips on both sides. Yeah, and cod is a perfect fish. It just takes on all the flavors of the herbs and the mayo, and the chip gives it crunch, it ticks off all the boxes. And I just like putting a little bit of fresh lime on there because when you're eating, you can take a little piece of lime. Life is good. And sometimes I'll take, like, if you have some leftover dill, just kind of like break it up in your hands a little bit, and you can sprinkle it on top of the fish. Lovely. Fish and chips, right? And last but not least, the polenta fries. Listen to how crispy they are. so delicious. Smoked paprika, lots of onion and garlic powder. They smell incredible. You're gonna make these, and you're gonna love me for them. Just to finish these fries, I'm just such a huge fan of smoked paprika that I take a little bit of paprika and just kind of like, just sprinkle it on. Yummy. Oh, you can't forget about the dip. The dip is the best part. Crispy fry, smoked paprika, and then a really nice garlicky mayo. You're in heaven. Drum roll. And the time is, woohoo, 26 minutes and 47 seconds, and you have fish and chip night for 4 people for around $30 in around 30 minutes. Check it. Crispy potato crusted cod, polenta fries with garlic mayo, watercress salad with apples, peas, and a sour cream dressing, and even a deconstructed pavlova for dessert. Try this. Go ahead. Make this. Make Tuesday night exciting again. So, friends, what are you waiting for?